before you start following up with your prospects? How many emails should you be sending to your prospective clients? Or at networking events, when is it a good time to really start promoting the service? Today, I'm going to talk about all the frequently asked questions about sales etiquette. When is the best time to do something to promote ourselves, and when might not be the best time? Hi, Melinda here, founder of Women Making Big Sales. I am going to share with you some of the most common questions that my clients, entrepreneurs ask me when it comes to sales, because it is a fine balance when it comes to selling to companies or selling to big clients. You want to promote your service, you want to encourage, engage with your prospective clients, but at the same time, you really don't want to come off too strong and sounding too pushy. So let's talk about some of the basic sales etiquette so that you know what to do in different circumstances. The first question people often ask is, how long should I wait before I follow up with my prospective clients? I just had an amazing business meeting with this person, or I just had a great conversation with this person. How long should I wait to follow up with this person about the conversation we had? I'd say it really depends on the kind of decision or call to action you would like to follow up with. If you just had a conversation with one person and you talked about the fact that, hey, you really would like to get together and talk further about the topic, getting together or having a 15-minute phone conversation is not that big a deal. So you can easily follow up with a person in 2 days or sometimes a week, but I'd say a week would be the maximum. So 2 to 3 days or up to 1 week. You can follow up with a person and then to talk about, finding the time to meet. But if you're talking about something that's a little bit more complex, for example, you've already had your sales presentation, the official presentation, and you're trying to close a deal, and it's a complex deal. It could involve 5, 6, 7 figure. It could even involve different decision makers. Then you know that it's a complex and big decision for people to make. It is normal to wait about 3 weeks for people to make that proper decision. And at this time, it would also be very helpful for you to tell your prospective clients that, hey, I will be following up with you in 3 weeks, or I will be following up with you on a certain date to see if you've made any decision. And during those 3 weeks or a month of the time waiting, whether the prospective clients might have made the decision, you could also send a tiny bit, little 1 or 2 messages to remind your prospective clients that, hey, I'm around and do not forget about this important topic we just talked about. So you can try to send an article or some kind of news about the topic you guys talked about to kind of support why this person should make the decision, should say yes to you. But if the decision is more complex, it definitely takes a little bit longer, and it is definitely okay to take time to follow up with your prospective clients. So that is the first question people usually ask me. The second question is about emailing. How often should I email my prospects, and how many times should I keep trying before giving up? So here's the thing. When it comes to selling to bigger clients, you know me, I'm all about selling to high value clients. And I'm always trying to help entrepreneurs close those 5, 6, 7 figure deals. When it comes to closing those bigger sales deals, it definitely takes about 7 to 10 contact points before you could really either close the deals or get into a real serious business conversation or sales conversation. But it might seem difficult to have that 7 contacts and emails, and then you're probably just sitting there and say, well, it's important to email this person for 7 times, but I can't keep sending them messages about, hey, I just want to follow up. Hey, I just want to see how you're doing. Hey, how's it going? It started to become repetitive, and a lot of times you probably don't get a lot of response from your prospective clients. When we talk about having or establishing 7 to 10 contact points, usually we talk about the varieties. So it's important for you to keep it to maintain different contact points. For example, you could email your prospects. You could also make a quick phone call and leave a voicemail, or you can send messages on LinkedIn if they have any news, and send a quick message or engage with them on social media. So it definitely takes about 7 to 10 contact points with your prospective clients. But when it comes to contacts, one thing is very important, and it also relates to sales etiquette. I'm a strong believer that when it comes to sales, it's about providing value, and real value. It's not about, trying to repeat things you've said over and over again. I have sold in a lot of industries in different countries. It might just be me, but I find that at the end, it's all about providing meaningful value to my prospective clients. In today's world, our clients are becoming really smart, and it's so important to, if we're talking about being competitive, I think it's being competitive in providing the level of service and value you could to your prospective clients. So if you're trying to create that 7 to 10 contact points, always challenge yourself. And if you want to stop being spammy, if you want to stop being pushy, if you want to stop being salesy, push yourself, encourage yourself, challenge yourself to provide information and value of meaning, of priorities, of urgency in these 7 to 10 contact points. So for example, if you're trying to email your prospective clients, don't just email and say, hey, I just want to follow up and see how you're doing. Sometimes this strategy works if you've already done quite a bit of sales to this person, you've already sold to this person, and you want to break down that communication. I get it. You want to keep it casual. That makes sense. But if you just keep sending emails and all you wanted to do is just have meet up for coffee. If you're sending email and every time just say, hey, let's meet up for coffee. Hey, let's meet up for coffee. Let's connect. Your big prospective client is going to say, hey, I don't have a lot of time to just meet up with people and just for coffee without any real reason. So when you're trying to engage with your prospective clients and you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I stop being salesy? How do I stop being pushy? Try to provide value. And that is how you stop being spammy and how you stop being salesy. And how often should you connect with your prospective clients, or how often can you email your prospective clients? Here's usually what I like to do. I like to break down, how do I call it? I like to break down the sales value into little small value. For example, if you are a marketing consultant and you provide a wide range of digital marketing consultations to companies, try to break it down. Maybe you can focus one value would be the value of Facebook ads. And so you can start, try to tell yourself to create a series of communication with your prospective clients about Facebook ads. And that the benefits of Facebook ads, or, the tools that people can use about Facebook ads, create a mini sales campaign around it. Then you can send your prospective clients within that, prepare, for example, 3 to 5 contact points, emails, articles, and then you can send your prospective clients within a short period of time. Every single message can get out in 3 days or 4 days of duration. But once you finish that sales campaign, you're done talking about Facebook ads, you should just, if you still do not get any reaction from your prospective clients, then you shouldn't be just go back and then keep connecting with a person. Let's move on and talk about something of value. Your prospective clients might be interested in something else. So that's how you can break down your email communication. Instead of just, sending I see a lot of people, they just send emails without thinking about, hey, what kind of value I'm providing. You can try to create a topic of interest, and break down to 3 to 5 different contact points and send it to your prospective clients within that 3 to 5 contact points, and evaluate and analyze the reaction of those communications. Track them. I also have an email tracking tools that I've shared with a lot of you. Track the response of those information and see if you get any engagement from your prospective clients. If you don't, then move on. So you don't necessarily have to continue sending people things, but you can break down to different sales campaigns and send them emails within a period of time. Maybe the next 2 weeks, you'll send them a little bit more information, and you quiet down, take it easy, and you can start another email campaigns or sales campaigns after that. So that would be one way of doing it. Or if another way you can do it is start sending newsletters. Ask permission to put your prospective client's name on your email list, and then you start sending newsletter to these people. If you send newsletter to your prospects, they expect it to be non-personal. So you have the ability to send them stuff that's a little bit less personal. So even though a lot of times they might not read the whole thing, but they will continue to remember you. And you can combine those email newsletter to personalized emails together, so that your clients knows that they're receiving your non-personal email newsletter, and they have the ability to unsubscribe from that newsletter whenever they desire. And at the same time, you combine it with personalized emails. Maybe once in a while, start to frame up some sales campaign, a certain value, and you create 3 to 5 different contact points to remind them of the benefits of certain service you offer. So that could be one way of doing it. This is a big topic, and if you want to know more about email campaigns, send me a quick email or message, and I'd be very happy to talk to you more about that. But that is a big topic. And another thing is about networking. A lot of times people say, hey, at networking event, people were talking and people were introducing each other, but how do I stand out from my competitors, but at the same time not coming off too strong or sounding too desperate? Here's the thing about networking events is that people will all be introducing each other. And a lot of people think that the relationship will be built and have to be built within that networking event. But here's how I would like to approach it. I see every single relationship as a long-term relationship. It takes time to build trust. And if you are able to see your sales relationship with your prospects as a longer-term relationship, you will come off less desperate or less pushy. And a lot of times, we've come up pushy because we want to close the sales within that moment. In that moment, we want to build trust and create credibility at one networking event instantly. That's why we get nervous, and that's why we're like, oh wow, what should I say to to come up as a authority figure and also build trust and have personal connections. That's a lot of stress if you want to accomplish so much within one single setting. So instead, what I usually do is that take your time just building certain personal connection with your prospect at networking events. And that's what usually pros do. A lot of pros at networking events, they don't talk about their service. There will be plenty of opportunities to talk about your service going forward, on LinkedIn, after connecting with each other on LinkedIn or emails. So at networking events, focus on really knowing what the person's business is about, and maybe ask meaningful questions or insightful questions so that you have information you will be able to share, or you'll have information about what's important to your prospective clients. And then after the meeting, you can always send them interesting topic, interesting strategy, some of the tools based on the conversation you had with this person at networking events. So that's usually what people do, the sales pros do at networking events. It's about building relationship. Take it easy, relax. And you don't have to talk business right off the bat. And that's the next question a lot of people ask. And it's similar to networking of events, but a lot of times, what if you're at a social event and you see this prospective client and you think this person could be a great opportunity for your business? When is it the appropriate time to start talking about business? This often happens when, for example, you're at barbecues or you're at some kind of non-official networking events, community events, baseball games, whatever it is, and you meet these prospective clients. They just told you what they do briefly, and then you realize that, wow, this could be a great prospect. So how do I transition this casual personal interactions to a meaningful business conversation? Here's one thing that I always want to focus on is that I never talk about business until the person asks me what I do, and they will ask me eventually. So be patient. If you're at a non-business networking event, or social event, if you're at a social event, don't rush to go out and talk to your prospects about what you do. The most important focus is to connect with this prospect personally. So if you meet this person at social event, your focus should not be about telling this person what you do, because the moment you're starting telling the person, what I do, the service I offer, you're coming off too strong. But instead, focus on connecting with the person. In connecting with this person, and try to find a way, maybe connecting on Facebook or on LinkedIn or getting their business card. What you're trying to do is that you're trying to build long-term relationships. You're trying to get an opportunity to connect with this person, so that going forward, so that the next day you can write this person back and say, hey, it was great meeting with you at this event, and based on our conversation, I came across this article. I thought it might interest you. Look forward to meeting with you, or look forward to hearing your thoughts. So a lot of the sales etiquette, if you really listen to it closely, it's about providing real value, and also take it easy. Taking that sales relationship to a longer term relationship. Don't worry about closing the deals right away. The focus for you should be getting as many leads as possible, and then take your time to get to that yeses instead of rushing to get to the no's. Okay, so that would be one thing about the personal social interactions. The same thing with social selling. We talked about LinkedIn selling. For example, if you connect with this person on LinkedIn, and you think this person would be a great prospect, what do I do? You're thinking, should I just start sending them what I do, sending the stuff about what I do on LinkedIn? What would be the best thing? Here's what I think about about LinkedIn messages. If you're selling to somebody who frequent LinkedIn, and I think you can start selling your pitches, or start letting this person know more about what you do on LinkedIn. That's fine. But if you're really selling to people, and that happens a lot with higher value clients, bigger clients, they tend to stay away from LinkedIn, because LinkedIn has become a little bit spammy over the past couple of years, because there are more and more people using LinkedIn. So a lot of bigger clients, they really don't use LinkedIn that much. So whenever you connect with this person, and if you're on LinkedIn, the focus is not necessarily about, oh, here's what I do. Let me sell you stuff. Let me tell you more about how I can help you. Let me tell you more about the wide range of service and value I provide. Instead, I would focus more on getting their personal email address, and getting their permission to send them information via email. Because sending information on email definitely gives you a higher chance of reaching your prospective clients. It becomes more personal, and you're able to get their permission to send information to their email box. That means basically they said, hey, I'm willing to receive information from you. So when you're connecting with a person on the LinkedIn, try to provide value to, again, we always talk about providing value, and real value of the priorities, the importance and urgency. And then say, hey, by the way, this information, I think it's better that I send it on directly to your email address. And do you mind giving me your email address so that I can make sure that you reach this? Ask them for permission to send information to their direct email address. And then you're able, and much easier, you can connect with this person and send information to this person much more directly via email than LinkedIn messages. Okay, and And then I think these are the most common questions that I often hear people when it comes to sales etiquette. How do you behave in a social setting when you need to sell? How do you behave on LinkedIn when you're trying to sell and you're just connected with a person? How do you behave when you're trying to send emails? So I hope this answers some of the questions you have. If you have more questions, or if you think that I'm missing one big question about sales etiquette, send me a message and I will answer them. So I look forward to speaking with you next time about more sales strategies. Talk to you next time.